Hello everyone. In this session we are going to learn a problem titled Jumping on the Clouds. Let's read the question and try to understand what the question says. The question says that Emma is playing a new mobile game that starts with consecutively numbered clouds. Some of the clouds are thunderheads and the other are cumulus. Right? So there are a set of clouds which are sequentially numbered, and then there are two types of clouds. One is thunderheads, the other one is cumulus. She can jump on any cumulus cloud having a number that is equal to the number of current cloud plus 1 or 2. So Emma can only jump on cumulus clouds. She cannot jump on thunderheads. You just see, it says she must avoid the thunderheads. She can only jump on the cumulus clouds. Now determine the minimum number of jumps it will take Emma to jump from her starting position to the last cloud. It is always possible to win the game. Right? Now for each game, the input will be an array of clouds numbered 0 if they are safe, that is a cumulus type of cloud, or 1 if they must be avoided for thunderheads types of clouds. Now if you have this array 0, 1, 0, 0, this number, so they are basically indexed from 0 to 6. The cloud numbers are from 0 to 6, right? And then we need to find out how many jumps we need to make, right? So we can make multiple ways that has been explained out here. Either you can jump from 1. Okay, we cannot jump by 1 because this is a thunderhead. So we jump by 2 steps once. Then you have an option of jumping by 1 and jumping by 2. But if you jump by 1, the problem again is like you will be taking more steps. So you have to first always give it a try to jump by 2 steps, right? So second step you jump here, then third step you jump here, right? Okay, in 3 steps you can take it. Fine. And there are better examples out here. This is the example. There are 7 clouds. These are the numbers. And then there's an explanation out here. And again, there's one more input out here. There are 6 clouds. These are the numbers. And then there is an explanation out here. We'll try to understand these problems in detail and try to look into how do we solve this. Fine. So I've taken the same input which was mentioned out there. So I've just basically marked the thunderheads with red color out here, and then the cumulus as blue color. The starting one is always a cumulus, and then the last one is always a cumulus, right? And programmatically the data will be represented as zeros and ones. 0 for cumulus, which is visible as blue color here, and then 1 for thunderheads, which are in red color out here. So we need to find out number of jumps. As we have seen that our job is to reduce the number of steps, right? So okay, we will always try to see if I can jump by 2, right? If you jump by 2, you will always try to jump by 2, because then only then, if you jump by 2 to 2, then only then you can reduce the number of steps. But okay, from here if I try to jump by 2 steps from 0 to 2, but okay, 2 is thunderheads, so I'm not, okay, this is to be avoided. So I cannot jump by 2. Since I cannot jump by 2, in such situations, I'll always try to, okay, jump by 1. Now again from 1, I will not jump to 2. I will not even look out if I can, even if it is possible. I'll directly jump to 3. This is the second step. And from 3, I'll check out, can I jump to 5, but I cannot jump. So then I cannot jump to 5, I'll try to jump to 4. This is the third step. And then from 4, I'll jump by 2 steps. Right? So after my first jump, you'll be at cloud number 1. After second jump, you'll be at 3. Then third jump, you'll be at 4. And fourth jump, you'll be at 6. That's been demonstrated out here through the table here. Right? Let us try to look into another example and try to understand. Right? So from 0, where will you move to? Will you move to 1 or will you move to 2? We will always try to move 2 steps if it is possible. And from here, since jumping on 2 steps will end up into a thunderhead, because of that reason we jump by 1. And again from here we'll jump by 2. Right? How many steps? 3 steps. After the first step, you'll jump to cloud number 2. After second step, you go to 3. Then after third step, you reach 5, which is the last one. Right? Okay. Now let's take one more example and try to understand here. Just starting from 0, since you cannot jump to 2, you will jump by 1, and from 1 you jump to 3, and from 3 you jump to 5. From 5 you cannot jump to 7, so you jump to 6, and from 6 you jump to 8. But after 8, what should we do? Should we jump to 9 or should we jump to 10? Remember, we don't have a cloud with the value 10. So trying to jump by 2, or even trying to check is the 10, okay, cloud with number 10, is it Thunderhead or it is Cumulus? That itself is a problem, because in that case you will be crossing the boundary of an array. Right? So from this what we understood is, we should always check out if by incrementing by one step, if I can reach the last cloud, just increment by 1. Don't even check out 2 steps further. Right? And if you do not reach the last cloud by incrementing 1, then you can basically select, should I select 2 or jump by 2? If that is a Thunderbird, then I cannot jump. Then you try to jump by 1. Remember, the problem statement says that the input will be in such a situation that you can always win. You will never encounter 2 Thunderhead clouds simultaneously. Right? So you can just observe here. This is how it is. After 8, you jump to 9. You don't jump to 10. Right? Then you will be crossing the boundary of an array. So I hope the problem statement is very much clear. When should we jump by 2 steps? When should we jump by 1 step? And how do we take the boundary condition? Right? Now let us try to start the implementation. So I have a program out here wherein I have already written the code to read the inputs. First I'm going to read the number of clouds and then a type of each cloud. Right? Here I have declared an array of n elements. In case you're working with Turbo C, then this might not work. So be careful with that. Right? Now, how do I write a program logic for this? First, let us try to declare a variable to keep track of your current position where you are. So I'm going to keep track of my current position. Right? Initially you start with 0, right? So this is my initial position. My initial position is 0. After that, what is my end position? Or I can say last cloud, which is n minus 1. So the n number of clouds, since we are counting of this is starting with 0, the last cloud will be n minus 1. Last cloud, or you can say the last position, right? Any meaningful name is fine. Then your job is to count the number of steps or number of jumps. So I need to keep track of jumps. Right? Initially the number of jumps will be 0. Right? So you have to repeat a loop as long as your current position is less than the last position. Right? And as I said, you need to first verify jumping by 1, will he reach the last position or not. I'll check if, right, if I take up the current position plus 1, if that was going to take me to last cloud, then I just need to increment by 1. So incrementing by 1 can be done with plus plus operator. If incrementing by 1 does not take you to the last cloud, and remember last cloud is always a cumulus cloud, which is a safe one, right? So you don't need to worry that is it 100 cloud or not. If this condition is not satisfied, then you're somewhere in between or at the beginning. wherein you have an option of jumping by 2 or jumping by 1. So first I need to check, can I jump by 2? How do I verify can I jump by 2? So the array name is C, so I need to use C, and then the index of that. The index is your current position, right, plus 2. The current position plus 2 will be the index. That is 2 steps forward. Now if that is 0 or that is 1, if it is 0 means it is safe. It is safe. If it is safe, then I will always try to jump by 2. So I can just use current position plus 2, right? In case if it was not safe to jump by 2 steps, in that case I will be using or incrementing by 1 step, right? Now among these 3 steps, you'll execute only one of it, and that is one jump, right? And which one among that depends upon the conditions what you use. So I'm going to just increment jumps, right? So I can just use plus plus here. So if you want to observe after each jump where exactly you are, right? So you can just check out after, or I'll just try to print as tabular column wherein the first one will be jumps and then the second one will be the current position, right? So that is by jumps. Okay, this is for better understanding, right? And then the final result is basically the total jumps. I'm going to print that value in the next line so that in case if I have to put it in HackerRank, it's easier for me to comment it. Right, it's my jumps. Fine. Okay, so you can run this program and try to observe if this is fine or not. So first I've compiled it. If you want to see if there is any errors out here, we just try to look in the logs and there is no problem with respect to this. So I can run this. So you can view the data, whatever we have seen the slides initially. So first I'll just say that the number of clouds is 7. Then I'll say type of each cloud, which is 0. Then again 0. Then it was 1. Then it was 0. 0, 1 and 0, right? So we start from 0, we cannot jump by 2, we jump by 1. After the first jump it will be 1, and from 1 it will jump to 3, then from 3 to 4, 4 to 6, right? Okay, now we can also verify with other input wherein we had 10 and then we had like 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, right? From 0 we jump to 1, from 1 we jump to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 8, from 8 to 9, remember 8 to 9, that is very important, 8 to 9, right? We don't jump from 8 to 10. So from 8 we jumped to 9, total number of steps is 6, right? Now we have verified this. So if you want to put this into HackerRank, just make sure that you comment this line is not required, and neither this line is required, right? And after that, even this intermediate steps are not required, and then total number of jumps also. Okay, this message is not required, only this one to be printed, and this is the loop what you're going to read it. And yes, people are working with older version of C. You might face a problem in case you cannot declare I here. So just declare variable I before the loop, right? So we have done the code. We'll try to copy this code and try to execute it in the platform. We'll go to this platform here. We'll just try running this code. Right, let me just try to reduce this. The same thing what we just wrote now, right? So I'll try to run this code and see if there is any errors. If there are any errors, we'll try to rectify it. Perfect, no issues. Thank you.